Okay, hi. Oh my god, I'm sweating. Hi. Oh my god. Why am I so sweaty? I'm like excited to film today's video, but at the same time, I'm kind of nervous. I'm not really good at things like this. Or am I? When it comes to like creative stuff, I'm a really good copycat. But like I myself am not very creative. I feel like I'm a little bit in over my head, but we'll see. So, okay, just as some like background information, David and I have moved 3 times in the last 2 months. I'm gonna spare you the boring details, but it's kind of been a nightmare. And where we are now is like until we buy a house, this is where we're staying. The place that we lived in right before this was actually a different unit in this same complex. There were reasons why we had to move out of that one, and now this is where we are. But what I loved about the previous unit was the view. When David and I were looking for a place, I only had one request. One, and that was that I wanted a balcony. Like no matter what, I wanted a balcony. I am my father's daughter. We have a thing for nature, you know, like my dad, I'm from Arizona and my dad lives in Arizona right now. Arizona is not exactly the easiest weather to have flowers and plants and stuff in your backyard. It gets really fucking hot, but he puts a lot of time and a lot of love and care into his backyard. So he has like a big tree that he sits under, and there's like flowers and plants everywhere. It's all really cutely decorated, and he'll just go out there and like sit in his chair and listen to music and like have a beer or something and just hang out. Like he just wants to be one with his backyard. That is what I strive to have. Seriously, I say this to David all the time. When we buy a house, I'm the most excited for the backyard. That was really important for me. And the unit that we lived in before this one had such a cute view. It was of the neighborhood behind us, and it's such a cute little neighborhood. And I guess the downside to that balcony though was that it was in like pure sunlight pretty much all the time. When I would scrub it with like water and soap, I could see the soap like bubbling on the pavement, and that would have been like way too hot for a lot of plants. They wouldn't have been able to survive that. So I guess that's the one downside to that balcony, which is a good thing since we don't live there anymore. However, the unit that we moved into faces the courtyard, and it's a pretty courtyard because it's a pretty complex, but at the same time, it's a courtyard. So it's just a bunch of balconies all facing each other. Kind of reminds me of like living in a dorm. So my project now that we're in quarantine and I have nothing to do, is to make my balcony my view. And that's what we're going to do today. There's a balcony like right straight across the way, and I kind of wanted some privacy from them. I just want to, on the railing of the balcony, just on that section of the railing, I want to put hanging planters over the railing and have plants that are tall enough to sort of obscure the view. Because that is so specific, I decided for those planters to use faux plants. That way I can just place them exactly where I like them, and then I don't have to worry about them like dying or wilting or having to repot them. I just want that to be my little privacy section, and then the rest of the plants are all gonna be real. So I have a DIY in mind. I just don't know if it's gonna work. It should work. It should work. I have such a weird appreciation for plants, but I do plan to like have a garden one day. I plan to have a whole beautiful backyard filled with plants. That would make me so happy, with like a seating area out there. I would love that. Me and David are kind of opposite. Like he grew up in Santa Barbara, so when he looks out and sees the ocean, he's like, wow, that's so beautiful. And it is beautiful. But for me, if I look out and see like the forest, that to me will like, if I stand there and I look at a tree for long enough, I will start crying. Okay, that's a little dramatic. It's not abnormal for me to be walking with David and say like, oh my God, look at that tree. I forget if we're like with other people, they'll look at the tree and be like, what's wrong with it? And I'm like, oh, no, nothing. It's just a nice tree. And I forget that that's not like a normal thing people say. Okay, I'm gonna go show you the situation, and I'm gonna show you all the faux plants that I have ordered that finally came in. Let me show you what we're dealing with here. Okay, so this is the space. I have all these pots here just kind of like ready to go and placed. That's a candle, like a pillar candle holder that I thought would be nice and cozy. Just some lighting stuff. This is all just kind of like I made lighting with things that I already had in my house because it's kind of hard to shop right now. This is so crazy. I can't believe this hasn't died. This is a mint plant that I literally ripped out of David's mom's yard because she just had mint like growing everywhere. It hasn't really grown any bigger, but it hasn't died, so I'm just very surprised. And then this is Jacko's little potty area. This is what I liked about this balcony when we moved in. It has this little like nook. The reason why I blocked it off is because Jacko has a habit of walking while he poops and he leaves a trail just like everywhere. So this kind of like forces him to jump over it, potty in there, and then jump back over when he's done so he doesn't keep walking around. And that comes in handy. We do walk him twice a day, so he doesn't really use it all that much, but obviously he just did, so. And then these chairs are new. They were literally sitting outside of Rite Aid for $15 each. Everything's on sale right now. So these chairs and this little table we just got, they're new. The plan today is to make a little home out of everything we have here and to create a little bit of privacy along this railing. That's the goal. Oh my God, I'm sweating. Where's my hair tie? I lost it. Okay, so these are all the fake plants that I ordered. All these and this. It was kind of hard to find plants that were tall enough. Like these, which had like really, really good reviews. These are like the tallest that I could find. I think these are supposed to be 15 inches. Obviously that's counting from here though, which is gonna be like glued into the soil. So I have these are just plain green, no flowers on them. And then I also got these, which are the same thing, but they have like little white, they're not really flowers. They look like rosemary. I don't really know what these are supposed to be. Maybe eucalyptus, I'm not really sure. And then for some height, I don't know how this is gonna work because I feel like these plants don't really go together. I feel like I need Mr. Kate here to help me. Like these are nice and tall. I figured, I mean, do these even like go? I guess they kind of do, they could, right? And then I bought some hydrangea. Okay, so this is what these look like. They're cute. So that is what we're working with for the faux plants. I also have to go out to the balcony and take like a picture of all the pots so that when I'm at the nursery I can like buy plants accordingly. Okay, so these are the planters. So the fake plants would go in here. I have these like metal zip ties and I'll just zip tie them to here. Okay, I took my pictures and now it's time to go to the nursery and get my plants. We out, ladies. We're here. It seems that a lot of people are planting like during quarantine. Every time I drive by this place, it's like packed full of cars. Hopefully there's some left for me. so hot and I can't breathe with this mask on. So that was a little more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I really did have a very limited variety that I could choose from because my balcony is so shaded. I'm gonna have to ask David to come down and help me bring these in. He's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
I wanted to get more like big plants as opposed to like 10 small ones. I really didn't go that overboard. What feels overboard to me is that I bought bigger plants this time. I typically don't do that. These come in like 6-packs, so these are easy just to like fill extra space. I got them in this color and in white. These are so pretty. I really want to put like I love this one. Look how big it is. It's so pretty. I really want to put this one right there because then you'll be able to see it from the walkway. Let's start planning. Alexa, play Frank Sinatra. First plant done. I'm really excited. It already looks really, really good, and it doesn't even have the hanging planters yet, so. Alexa, shut up. So, I'm gonna do the DIY. Why do I keep saying DUI? I'm gonna do the DIY in the bedroom after I make myself a drink. I was trying to explain this to David earlier and I kept saying DUI instead of DIY and it wouldn't like click. He'd be like, what? And I'm like, yeah. We need 4 12-inch wide bushels that will go as tall as possible. So this is kind of what I'm like thinking. Something like this, I think would look really pretty. I wanted this thing to be kind of hidden, so it'd be kind of in there like that. I think it might be time for the hot glue gun. Maybe I could hot glue them to like, oh, I have an idea. I'll be right back. Hello. Have this leftover just like I don't know, what is this, foam board. I have this left over. I just hit myself in the face. I was thinking maybe I could cut these into little pieces and I can hot glue these to this and this will be my base. Oh my God, that is so crazy. We're in the bedroom. I was wondering why he was like sticking to me. He has PTSD from 5 years ago when we first moved into our apartment. The maintenance man accidentally left a towel in the oven. When we turned on the oven, it started smoking. Fire alarms were going off. A fire truck came and it was this whole big scene. It completely traumatized Jacko, and now every time we preheat the oven, he starts shaking. But it's so funny because he's in the bedroom. Like, he doesn't even know. He just, like, he knows. Just knows, you know? It's okay. It's okay, can't hold you. I'm doing a DUI. How they've turned out. I hope they look this good in the planters. I don't know why they wouldn't, but I'm prepared for this to be a fail. But I hope it turns out okay. So I haven't put the soil in the pots yet, but even just like this, I feel like it looks so good. It looks so fresh. Like I like that there's a lot of green, not a lot of flowers in it. It looks so cute. It's been a long day. It's been a long 2 days. This was like a way bigger project than I thought it was gonna be, but oh, I'm obsessed. I don't know what you guys were expecting. It is, after all, just a balcony. One day I'm going to own a house, and that house is going to have a big, beautiful backyard, and I'm gonna have a garden, I'm gonna have flower beds, all these things. I'm going to have it, okay? But for right now, for what I have, this balcony space, I feel like I did a really good job. Am I just tooting my own horn? That's okay. I'll toot it. Nobody else is gonna toot it for me. I'm really glad that I decided to go with bigger plants because I'm obsessed. Like the one that's on the table, it's like spilling over the pot and it's so beautiful. From the walkway, when I walk back and forth from the elevator, I just look at it and I'm like, look how beautiful my balcony is. The railing plants. Me and David were actually sitting out there in the chairs and just like looking at all the plants around us. Those perfectly block the balcony across the way. It's just like a way of creating like a really beautiful sort of like privacy wall without actually putting up privacy walls. You know, like I'm not a fan of like the big straw thing that people do, and I don't know, it's just not like the prettiest thing to look at. Everything together with like the string lights above, the candles lit below, all the plants and the flowers everywhere, it just looks so, it's so cozy. That was supposed to be my Zen place, and I think I executed that pretty well. So I hope this video was in some way helpful, if not at the very least entertaining. Maybe if you also live in an apartment with like a small space and you're looking for sort of like a Zen area for yourself, or if you're dealing with the same issue that I was, your view is of the neighbor across the way, creating like a really Zen space for yourself that will block that view for you, I feel like it's a good alternative. If you have any questions or if I missed anything, ask me, let me know. I'll answer it for you. I hope this inspired you at the very least. Now you have something to do during your quarantine, because let's be honest, what else are you doing? I can't wait to take a bath. I really can't. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Bye.